What's up, everybody? Welcome back to LaRon's Declassified. I know it's been a while since I've uploaded a video, so sorry for that. Today's video is going to be about body image, and I have with me my girlfriend Crystal. If y'all remember her from the last time, she's the one that I beat in the corny dad jokes. So today we're going to talk about body image, and what I mean by that, it's how a lot of people are so obsessed with how they look because of what others tell them that they should look like. And she's here because she's going to help tell her story, and I'll tell my story as well. So I hope you enjoy, and please stick around. Now, I've been called weird my entire life, but as I got older, I just learned to realize that there's no such thing as being weird when you're being yourself. If I could be anybody else in this world, I would still choose to be me. Because everything that I am is because I worked hard for it. I love me. Alright, so today's topic, I find it's important to talk about because I realize how much social media influences people and how they think about themselves, where they are in life, how they look, what they're doing for their age, and things like that. So body image is important to me because I know we've all been to a point in our life where we feel like we needed to look like everyone else looks. And when you look on social media, you see all these people who have these bodies. It's like, okay, so that's what everyone wants. And since that's what people like, I want to look like that as well. So for me personally, when I was younger, I used to be insecure about my body because I was always chubby. And I didn't like being chubby. Sure, okay. I was a chubby kid, whatever. So I didn't like being chubby, and at a young age, I was like, okay, now I don't want to be chubby anymore. People think I'm fat, I'm ugly, and I don't like the way I look. So I became obsessed with working out. And I still work out today, but it's a good thing because I like to be healthy. But it got to a point where I was never satisfied, and I always wanted to have a six-pack. And I would just kill myself trying to get a six-pack. And it's like, that went on up until probably my junior year in high school. Like, I was so obsessed. I needed a six-pack. I had the muscles. My shoulders started getting wider and everything. My back got wider. But I still didn't have a six-pack. But it got to a point where I actually did have a nice body. But when I looked at myself in the mirror, I still saw myself as being fat. And I couldn't see that. But looking back now, I realized that there was nothing wrong with my body. And I was really obsessing for nothing. And then it's like I always found something wrong with myself. When I started getting muscles, I started getting stretch marks coming down my arm and everything, and I didn't like that. So I was like, okay, now I need to get rid of this. But junior year, I think I stopped obsessing. Maybe because I felt like I was doing okay. Like, I didn't have a six pack, but I was still able to pull. Not trying to be cocky or anything. I pulled her, but that's later on.
Nah.
But I didn't have a six pack, and I had stretch marks, and every other bodily feature that I had, and I got hurt. Didn't really make me feel bad about it. So it's like, use the cards that you're dealt, like using the hand that you're dealt. So I look good, I'm healthy, I don't care anymore. And that brings me to her situation, because you have a lot of women, they have so much pressure put on themselves because all they see when they look on Instagram are these Instagram models who most of them paid for their bodies. And when you have someone with petite like her, she sees that and she thinks that's how she's supposed to look. And it's like I try to explain to her that history repeats, and at some point what she doesn't like is going to be in style again, because once upon a time you have women who were bigger and they were seen as disgusting, and if you weren't skinny, what are you doing with your life? And then it got to the point where you had skinny women who still thought they were fat because they weren't sticks. And now it's a big trend. Now everybody wants to have a thin waist and a big butt, and they just want to be thick, and they want to twerk and all that. And she got caught up in the hype.
I don't know about the twerk part. I
She
wasn't
got caught
trying
up
to
in the
just be
hype.
thick and twerk. Like,
She wanted to be thick, and she didn't like the way that she looked. And I've always told her, like, that's the body that God gave you, and if you're not gaining weight, you're not supposed to gain weight. Now, I respect that she works out because working out it's healthy. And I'm not saying that, just be comfortable with however you look. I'm not saying, if you're morbidly obese that you shouldn't care about your image, but you should care about your health. Because at the end of the day, that's all that's important. As long as you are healthy, and if you feel like you can't control anything else in your life, being healthy is one thing that you can't control. So she can't control whether she's skinny or she's thick. So if she's going to be skinny, she's skinny. But as long as she's healthy, that's one thing that she can always control in her life. And that's what I wanted her to understand.
Oh, that's so cute. Well, yeah, piggybacking off of what he was saying, like, it's all this stuff in society is like a trend and it'll eventually go away. Like, I think it's really hard for women because you constantly looking on Instagram, social media, period, and you see these girls and they're like slim waist, big hips, and it's like, dang, okay, that's what's popping. So I need to get with the trend, but it's just like, basically, like you said, they're fake. Like, they're not real. That's what they got from Dr. Miami. Let's just be real. Like, okay, and like when I was younger, I didn't see anything wrong with it until somebody told me. Like, people would just be like, you're skinny, you don't look like you eat, or you probably wear a size so and so, and like just making fun of me for it. And I'm like sitting here thinking I'm fine. Like, I didn't think nothing was wrong with me.
I mean, you fine,
Well, thank you. But like, I'm sitting here thinking like, what's wrong with me? Like, why? You never know that something's wrong with you until somebody else pointed out. Period. So like, it was until I think middle school and high school, everybody like always used to call me skinny, but I really didn't care. And I feel like at that time, I think, what time was I in middle school? I want to say 2012. Okay, about 2012. Like, it wasn't as hype. It wasn't as hype as it was now. Like, being skinny wasn't like, oh yeah, I'm just skinny, I don't care. It wasn't like a bad thing like it is now. So I think when I got to college, it got really bad. I started gaining weight maybe sophomore year, like in a natural way, in a healthy way. But it was like people still called me skinny. And I'm like, wait a second, I'm kind of like, getting some hips and stuff. Like, so what, at the end of the day, what do you want? Like, I thought I'm kind of gaining weight. Like, what is good? So it kind of like messed up with my self-esteem. It kind of made me a little insecure about my body. Like, and really just not, how do I say this? Just not focused on what I have. Like, it was like, I need to get here so they could shut up, basically. I wanted to shut them up because I was getting tired of being called skinny and people saying you wear like a size 0 or a 4. Honey, I wear a size 7. Like, I wish I could fit a 4. But like, it was just like, so they could shut up. So I started to just do damage to my body, basically. I would go crazy, obsessed with just protein shakes. I would do purposely weight gaining exercises in the gym. I would like get on a Petamin, which is very dangerous for you. And it's like that syrup that you drink to gain weight, basically. I would just do a lot of stuff, and like I would literally kill myself eating myself. Like, I ate 6 to 8 times a day. Like, I think 6 to 8 times a day, I'm over here like, I need to eat, I need to gain weight, da 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 da, like crazy. So I think I had the epiphany, we gonna say last week. I had the epiphany, and I had to really like, I think the awakening call was when I threw up in the bathroom. And I didn't tell him this, of course I'm not gonna tell him this, but I ate so much that day and mixed up with protein shakes that I threw up. So it was like, I had to really just have like a come to Jesus moment. Like, okay, Crystal, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? And I had to talk to myself like, this is not right. This isn't right. And I really had to ask myself, who are you doing this for? Like, and I couldn't even save myself. I was like, dang, I'm really not doing this for myself anymore. This is to prove to others that I'm not that skinny, da da da. And it's just like, when I thought about that and I answered that question, I everything changed. I was like, you know what? Get rid of the Petamin, get rid of the protein shakes, get rid of the da-da-da-da-da. I'm beautiful. Like, forget what everybody got to say. You call me skinny, look at you. Like, what? Like, yeah, I'm skinny and what? Like, it was like, you look like you wear a size 0. You like you wear a size 24 and what? Like, you know, it's just like, and I started to think about, like, he used to tell me, well, he always tells me, he's like, people kill themselves to look like you. And like, really thinking about that, like, I really do kind of have it good. Like, people really do be like killing themselves in the gym just to look like me. Like, or, you know, some people can't even get 6 meals in without gaining like 50 pounds and it don't look right. Like, I have a high metabolism. Not many people can do that. And, you know, I have a flat stomach. Hello. Like, what? It's just stuff that I didn't appreciate that it was right in my face. Like, I have what everybody wants. Like, you know what I'm saying? So when people were talking about me, I was just like thinking, like, the people who talk about me, I feel like they were insecure with themselves. And looking back, most of the people who called me names and called me skinny and said I need to gain weight were fat. Like, so it was just hilarious. Like, how you gonna, you want to be my size. So, I don't know. That was just, I had to come to Jesus moment, and I had to understand.
About time.
I had to understand, my body is my body. This is what God made. He didn't make no mistakes either. Like, this is it. And you need to work with what you got. You need to love yourself a little bit more. And don't care what other people got to think. Because the people who talk about you, the ones that got the worst insecurities, like, they the ones that don't even like their body. So of course they're gonna talk about.
Ain't matter what they got
They're
to
gonna
say.
They're gonna talk about you because they like, dang, she look like she got it good. Like, she got a flat stomach. She got some hips on her. Like, she got it good. So let me just talk about her. And it's just always that one person that I want to talk about you because they literally admire you. Like, why does my body bother you so much? You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you were pointed out by them because they like what they see. So they gonna make you feel bad for it. But it's like, I got over that. Like, I was like, what? Fuck that. Like, ooh. Forget that. Like, no, I don't care about that. You can talk about me because you want to be me secretly. But they ain't gonna tell me, though. They just gonna make fun of me. So, yeah. And I think the other thing was I always used to compare myself to others. But then I realized that I need to compare myself to only me. And when you realize that, you boss up, you level up.
And that's that on that. Alright, if y'all watching this, that means y'all made it to the end of the video. So thank you for watching. Did she do a good job? Comment how many times she said like.
Like.
But one thing I want you to take from this is when you're putting yourself through these hard times and hard trials and obsessions, ask yourself, why are you doing it? Like, are you doing it for yourself or are you doing it for others to acknowledge you? Like, focus on yourself. Like, your life is your race. And if you're paying too much attention to everyone else, you're not focusing on what's in front of you. So what you do today will determine what you have tomorrow. So what's really important? Making other people acknowledge you and pay attention to you, or paying attention to yourself and getting what you really want in life. So they're gonna pay attention to you regardless.
Okay, just like one more thing, like as a little closing remark. I can't really speak for people who are trying to lose weight or the bigger girls, but what I can say, like I said before, don't compare yourself to like people like me. How about that? Don't try to compare yourself to the Zendayas, or just
go with your own speed.
You know, yeah, exactly. I feel like there's a lot of people, there's a lot of people like me who are trying to gain weight, but there's also people out there who's trying to lose it and try to get my size and also killing themselves, because that's a lot of anxiety. You're always looking at the scale, you're basically dieting, you're not eating, you're fearing eating, and that just goes back to telling you that everybody's body's different and this is your body, appreciate your body. So that's just from a different spectrum I wanted to talk about, because I always talk about skinny girls, but there's also girls who are out here killing themselves as well, trying to be
go at your own pace. And don't get discouraged if you feel like after a month of work, you don't see any progress, because you will see it eventually. Don't quit. Don't give up. Focus on you and not what everyone else has to say. Because if you truly believe that you see a difference, then focus on what you see and not everyone else, because that can be discouraging. So thank y'all for watching. Me and Crystal, love this girl. Alright, see you next time.
Bye.
Oh yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe.